Okay, so now I've changed to a red ceramic belt. It's fairly coarse so that I can grind my initial blade profile in, or excuse me, my initial blade grind in. And I've got a wooden jig set up here that we use in our knife classes. And basically you just set the knife in the jig and it creates the angle for you. You just clamp it in and then you begin to grind in your blade angle or your blade grind. And we'll talk about that as we go here in a second. Okay, so here's our blade clamped into the jig. And now we want to figure out where we want the ricasso or our blade grind to stop. And I'm not going to give myself a whole lot of leeway there as far as how far it goes from the handle before the blade starts. I'm not going to give myself much leeway there. I'm going to mark that on the top of the blank here so that I can see it from above when I'm grinding that initial grind line into the blade. Now one thing that I do is I adjust my belt with the tensioning spring so that it's all the way over to one side on this side and then all the way over to this side when I'm cutting in my blade angle. And we're just going to use even pressure, just like this. You can see what we're starting to get there. Again, it's very important to keep the blade cool all the time. And you can look at that profile line and see where you need to lay on the blade more in the grinder and where you need to lay off of it a little bit if you're getting too deep. So we need a little bit more pressure here to kind of even this line out a little bit. More like that. And you'll get used to doing this. It may take you a few times. You may mess up a couple blades, but every one you make will come out better. Now, what you don't want to do is you don't want to let yourself get across the center line of this blade as far as the top side goes. So once you've taken some meat off of that thing, go ahead and swap it out, change it to the other side of the jig, just like this. Being cognizant of where your ricasso is. If you need to, you can remark that ricasso on the top just so that you keep those even. So we'll lay the knife blank in the jig the other direction. The reason for having this hanging out a little bit on the front side like that is so that when you are putting your grind in, you can actually sweep a little bit away from the belt. That'll help you on the front edge, on the very front point here of your knife. And then we just start again on this side, adjusting our belt the other direction so it rides further over on this side, and then repeat the process on this side of the blade. Now, one thing I will tell you is that when you're using 1/8" material, or if you're using anything less than 3/16, you're really going to have to pay attention to how hot it gets, especially out on the tip. And the thinner that blade profile gets, the easier it heats up. You don't want to turn it blue. Yellow, straw yellow, that's okay, but you don't want to turn it blue. So continually put that thing in the water about every couple passes, just to make sure you don't overheat your blade. Now you're going to start to develop a little bit of a wire edge here, and that's kind of what you're looking for. But you don't want to go anywhere beyond that for sure right now, because you're going to heat this blade up to heat treat it and temper it, and you don't want too much of that. Get that too thin and it won't heat treat right. It'll just get brittle on you. So now what we're going to look at is we're going to look at our ricasso to make sure it's even. And if it's a little off on one side, we can adjust it. And then we want to look at this angle here and make sure that our grind is even on both sides. So that should be a perfect triangle right there. And then back here, you can see our ricasso is a little off on one side to the other. So we're going to adjust that right now by putting the blade back in the jig on the other side. Clamping it down and just coming in there just a little bit and adjusting that ricasso. So we'll go back to the other side with the belt as well. Okay, so here's our blade blank, ready for the heat treat and temper process. And now we're going to heat this thing up, stamp our logo on it, and then we're going to heat treat it, and then we'll go to temper. Now we want to make sure that we didn't bend the blade any when we did that. And then we'll put it back in the furnace for heat treat. Okay, so what we're looking for now is critical temperature on the blade itself, which means it's non-magnetic. So if it won't stick to a magnet, it's ready to be quenched, and we're going to quench this in motor oil to effectively get our initial hardness. We're dipping it all the way down to the blade, leaving the tang sticking out, and we're rotating it in circles, and we're counting to 20. Once it comes out of here, we're going to lay it on our anvil to cool down before we temper the blade. We'll bring some of the hardness back out.